Alrighty, finally. Have a little free time, I'm busy getting unloaded. And I figured I'd show you some of the stupidity that I found on the internet. Give me the ball. He didn't give me the ball. Anyway, I found these two goomers that are trying to tell us why we shouldn't have kids. With scientifical reasons. By scientifical reasons, I mean it's just random shit they found on Google that just honestly sounds really stupid. But anyway, let's get into it.
It's no one's place to tell you whether or not you should have a kid or not, but a lot of people seem to act as though you'll be completely unfulfilled unless you have children.
Usually the people that think that are give me the damn ball! Usually the people that think that because their life, it was improved significantly by the fact that they had children. I can tell you from personal experience, mine was. Give me that.
So if, like us, your family and friends are always pestering about when you're gonna have a kid, and you're like, better not.
You say that as if you have the ability to. You're both men! For a science channel, you don't know much about reproduction, do you?
Here's some scientific evidence as to why you probably shouldn't have a kid.
Reason number one, a dick in a booty hole can't make a kid.
Perhaps your relationship is in a rut and you think that kids might bring you closer together. Statistically, it will absolutely not. Research shows that marital satisfaction plummets after your first child, and 70% of couples experience a big slump in their love life.
I'll start with this one by saying that that's a pretty pathetic reason to have a kid to begin with. And kids should be part of the conversation with your partner while you're dating. That way, these clashes are less likely to happen. Yes, you can argue with your partner time to time over what to do with the child, but that's freaking normal. And if you can't handle disagreeing with your partner sometimes and handle a few arguments without growing up and discussing it later when you've calmed down, maybe you shouldn't have a partner to begin with, much less a kid.
This is often due to clashing ideas of how to raise your child, along with sleeplessness.
So yes, your kids will ruin your sleep.
What the hell's sleep? Oh yeah, sleep's that thing I experienced before high school. And haven't experienced since. Wonder what it would feel like now.
So in the first 2 years of your baby's life, survey data has found that you will lose 6 months of sleep, and you will only receive about 2.5 hours of continuous sleep each night. And too little sleep can lead to a myriad of health problems, such as slower reflexes, increased mental health issues, weakened immune system, heart disease, premature death, or the large life complication of being grumpy as fuck.
Well, I guess that explains why my wife is never nice to me.
Fuck. It'll also cut into your wallet.
No shit, Sherlock. Do you think kids were free?
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, if you're a woman with a child, you make 3% less than a woman that is childless. However, this is not true of men, who make an additional 15% if they have kids compared to those without.
Bull fucking shit! I don't make that much! I make as much now as I did before I had the kid. Where the hell are these dads getting that money? I'm making a call to work.
It has nothing to do with how hard you work, how many hours you work, or the job you have, but the double standard idea that men are breadwinners and women are caregivers.
That's because men are the providers and women are the caregivers in most freaking relationships.
Employers see fathers as committed and stable, whereas they see mothers as flaky and distractible.
No, you dumbass. As an employer, if you see a woman who has kids, you're less likely to hire her because she's more likely to be taking the kids to a bunch of sporting events, school, having to take days off to go get them because they're sick. Like, there's a long list of things that the mothers are probably doing for their kid while dad's out at work providing for the family. The father is usually the primary income for the family. The mother is secondary because she will be working a lot less to take care of the children. It's not because they're flaky. It's not because they're distracted. It's because they have children. And some employers need somebody who's more reliable than a mother that has children. It's not that hard to comprehend.
A study at Cornell found that when identical resumes were sent out, except one line was changed to show that they were members of the Parent-Teacher Association, women got half the amount of calls, while men actually received more calls. So maybe as far as securing a job and a good income is concerned, you should be a dad, just not a mother.
reference my previous statement because there's probably reasons why the men got more calls than the women.
The more obvious one is that kids are expensive. In the US of A, in 2015, on average, a baby would cost you $13,000 per year. That means by the time this child is 17, it will have cost you $233,000.
It's not really a reason to not have a kid. That's more of just a reason to be financially stable before you have a kid. That's it. Give.
And that does not include the amount of money going towards post-secondary education. Obviously, this average cost can vary, especially if your kid is throwing a fit on the friggin' floor for the sweet cereal, and you know what? To shut them up, you're gonna buy it. It's gonna cost you more, okay?
Or you could punish the kid and teach them that you don't throw a fit and get what you want. My daughter tried that with me once, and she learned that Dad don't play that game.
But kids bring so much joy into our lives, right? Well, sometimes research does show that if you wanted to have kids and have them, your life satisfaction can increase, but no more than people who are childless by their own choice.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? That's true of any life choices you make. You make the choice, you succeed at the choice, you're gonna be happier. That includes having kids, that includes having not kids. That includes your... Same thing can be said about your freaking job. How the hell is this a reason not to have a kid? God, this video's getting dumber by the minute.
And if you're still not convinced, we can look at things from the macro level. There are currently about 7.5 billion people on Earth, and in this second, 4 kids were just born. And many scientists collectively agree that if you factor in fresh water and the amount of food available, the Earth can only really hold 9 to 10 billion people. So a smaller family, or no kids at all, can help the threats of overpopulation, such as mass starvation.
It could also be helped if some of these millennial fuckheads would quit having kids outside of marriage. And that's not a dog on single parents. I know a lot of great single parents. But holy hell, be responsible if you're sexually active. It's not that hard. Condoms cost $3.
Think about it from your carbon footprint. 1 kid in America is the equivalent of 106 kids in Haiti when it comes to how much carbon dioxide is produced in their life. So if you're trying to go green, you could go vegan, you could ditch your car, you could stop flying everywhere, or you could just not have a kid.
Simpler version, save the earth, be miserable.
This video might be making it sound like we hate kids or that we never want them, but that's not the case. We just thought if you needed some evidence for good reasons not to have them, now you might have it.
Well, here's a simpler way to say why you don't want to have a kid. I do not want to have a kid. Anyway, I don't find this quite as ridiculous as the last few videos that I've reacted to, but I do find it kind of dumb on a couple levels, because one, why the hell do you need any of these reasons to not have a kid? You don't want to have a kid, just don't have a kid. It's not that hard. And it's also your choice, your decision. If people have a problem with that decision, just tell them, hey, screw off. It's not your choice, it's mine. That's how I feel about people that decide they don't want to have a kid. I don't find them heartless. I don't find them as bad people. They just don't want to have a kid. It's not, having a child's not for everybody. If you choose not to have kids, it's probably for the better. Because kids should always be wanted. Me personally, I love my daughter. She's a lot of my life. I can't wait to have more kids. I've always wanted kids. I love being a father. That's me. If you're not that way and you don't want to have kids, that's fine with me. That should be fine with everybody else. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook. Depends on where you saw the damn video. Hell, follow me on both. It helps. Anyway, catch y'all later. Catch y'all next week when I release something else.